It is no accident that drugs, heavy metal, brutality and wanton violence have all become the grisly ensigns that wave above the human desolation as we move towards the third decade of the age of Satan. The messages portrayed by certain types of rock music present a real threat to the physical health and emotional well-being of especially vulnerable children and adolescents. Punk rock and heavy metal are the ultimate philosophical end to a 30-year revolution in rock and roll rebelliousness. You might say heavy metal rock is to style Satanism what gospel music is to Christianity. Very few people get converted to Christianity just by listening to gospel music on the radio, but heavy metal is a very powerful reinforcement. It legitimizes the nasty stuff the kids are already into. The inflammatory message of heavy metal music is, as might not be surprising, religious, in the sense that it proclaims a higher power overseeing the universe. The power, however, is not God. It is engineered by the archfiend himself. Once you fall into that heavy metal syndrome and the embracing of Satan, then it's easy to do things you otherwise would not do. Basically, the music teaches that you don't have to listen to your parents and that you should live life the way you want. The power and violence of the satanic is something toward which youngsters bereft of hope and with a stunted conscience can easily gravitate. Troubled and abused youngsters, through a sort of insidious imprinting of experience, believe the higher power must be evil. Heavy metal affirms this theology and institutionalizes it in the music. The kids I've seen who are violent and into drugs, by and large, are into heavy metal. The music doesn't make them do it, but lyrics become their philosophy. Studies show that the preference of heavy metal music may be a significant indicator for alienation, substance abuse, psychiatric disorders, suicide risks, or risk-taking behaviours during adolescence. But music is not the cause of these behaviours. It is hypothesized that teenagers are already struggling with those issues may be attracted to heavy metal music because the lyrics express their own troubled feelings. Overt Satanism faded rapidly after the 1970s, but elements of cultural Satanism continued into the 1980s in heavy metal rock music, with its occasional invocation of the devil's name and considerable respect for the satanic values of cruelty, drugs, ugliness, depression, self-indulgence, violence, noise and confusion and joylessness. Punk and metal oppose the traditional values of those in authority and encourage rebellious and aggressive attitudes and behaviour towards parents, educators, law enforcement and religious leaders. Punk and metal generally support behaviours that are violent, immoral, illegal and frequently bizarre, and generally promote drug and alcohol abuse.